You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a huge pile of data, just wishing you had a magic button to sort it all out. Well, guess what? That button is pretty much here, thanks to some incredibly powerful AI tools. But as we all start using them, a really big question comes up. Are we actually in control of our own research anymore?
Look, there's no doubt AI is a total game changer. It's like having a tireless assistant who can crunch data like nobody's business. But in this big rush to make everything easier and faster, I have to wonder, is there a hidden cost? What are we giving up for all this convenience?
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we need to talk about two big ideas that are always in this kind of delicate dance whenever we use technology to help us think. They're called agency and cognitive offloading.
First up, let's talk about researcher agency. The best way to think about this is that you're in the driver's seat of your own project. You're the one deciding which way to turn, what route to take, and where you're ultimately going. Your hands are on the wheel, you're in charge.
Now, on the flip side, you've got cognitive offloading. We've all been there, right? Your brain feels totally full, you're trying to juggle a million ideas at once. Well, offloading is when you hand some of that mental work over to a tool. It's like getting a helper for your brain so you can free up some space to focus on the big picture. And this is where it gets really interesting. Agency and cognitive offloading are kind of like two ends of a seesaw. The more you rely on that helper to do the thinking, the more you might feel your own grip on the controls loosening a bit. It's this constant trade-off, and it's really at the heart of what we're talking about today.
To really see how big of a deal this is, let's take a little journey through time. We're going to look at how our research tools have evolved and how each new step has totally changed the game for that balance between our own thinking and the help we get from machines. So let's start with the basics, the absolute old-school method. Just some paper, a pencil, maybe a few highlighters. In this world, pretty much all the mental work is on you. You're doing the reading, you're making the connections, you're jotting down the notes. And if you look at this chart, it paints a perfect picture. Your agency, your control is through the roof. Every single insight, every aha moment comes directly from your brain. The paper and pen, they're just there to catch your thoughts. You're offloading almost nothing. Okay, let's take one step forward into the digital age. We're talking about basic stuff here, like Microsoft Word or Excel. We're using them to organize our notes, maybe do some simple data sorting in a spreadsheet.
Now, you'd think going digital would be a huge shift, but look at this. Our agency is still incredibly high. Sure, these tools make things neater and maybe a little faster, but at the end of the day, we're still the ones doing all the critical thinking. The balance hasn't really changed much at all.
Okay, now things are about to get a little more interesting. We start seeing specialized software, often called QDA software, pop up. And these programs are built from the ground up to help researchers manage, sort, and even visualize their data way more efficiently.
And this is where we see the first real shift. For the first time, we're not just using a tool to hold our thoughts, we're using it to help us organize our thoughts. Our agency is still high, for sure, but you can see we've started to hand over some of the mental workload. The seesaw is starting to tip. So up until now, it's been a slow, steady evolution. But we're about to hit a tipping point. What comes next isn't just another small step. It's a giant leap into a world where that balance of power between us and our tools is about to get completely flipped on its head. Because generative AI, it's not just another tool. It's a fundamentally different thing. It can be a partner, a collaborator, almost a co-creator. And as you're about to see, this new kind of partnership comes with a whole new set of rules and a whole new set of risks. Let's just walk through this table because it says it all. You can see the progression. We go from pencil and paper to QDA software, and then boom. Look what happens when you introduce AI. With an AI assistant, you start to lose some control. With an AI model, your agency really starts to drop. And by the time you get to an AI agent, well, you're offloading almost everything. It's a really slippery slope.
But here's the thing. Just losing control isn't even the biggest problem. That's really just the tip of the iceberg. The real danger is about what else we're losing along the way. Think about it like this. Critical thinking, data analysis. These are skills. They're like muscles. And if you stop using them because you're letting an AI do all the heavy lifting, what happens? Those muscles get weaker. We risk getting so far removed from our own data that we can't even tell if the AI's output is good or not. We become managers of a black box, not researchers.
So it all comes down to this really tough question. Where do we draw the line? How do we use these amazing, powerful tools without giving up the very skills that make us good researchers in the first place? It's the big question we all have to face. Just listen to this quote. As you are losing control, you're also losing the skill
and knowledge. That is the problem that we are going to face. Let that sink in for a minute. This isn't just about making things easier. It's about maintaining our competence, our expertise. It's about the future of what it means to discover something new.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one final thought, a question to take back to your own work. How do we use the tool without becoming the tool? The answer to that is going to shape not just your own work, but the future of knowledge itself. Thanks for thinking through this with me.